Beloved ones, I, Saint Germain, stand in your midst, grateful for the words that you have invoked and spoken from the depths of your heart, with the richness of your spirit and intention magnified by your higher self as it streams forth throughout the cosmos, the sacred word, the light, the radiance of all that is beautiful, harmonious, and God-born. In this hour, there is a rumbling within the earth. We have seen it, and the councils of the Universal White Brotherhood have been in session to determine what measures must be undertaken and initiated to safeguard liberty, freedom, and justice for all, as well as the equality of opportunity to lead a life of awareness and presence toward the goal of self-realization. We are determined that you, O mankind, shall be free in the light, and our determination extends unto you through the lives of initiates and sponsored teachers and activities that provide an impetus for you to make that solar progress that you require in this lifetime. Blessed ones, as we survey the scene, as we take stock of what we see on the horizon, what we share with you this day, the 7th day of the month, is that an increase in the invocation and in the utilization of the 7th ray of freedom, justice, and opportunity is one of the greatest means by which you may safeguard the platform of evolution upon Earth, opportunity for souls to incarnate and to fulfill their destiny, and for the 7th age and all of its divine glory to manifest through the lives of those whom we are sending to Earth to raise the consciousness of all peoples. There is not a magic word, a magic formula, or some magic potion, dearest ones, that will do all of this in an instant. Yet through many conscious moments of connectedness with your presence, of focus upon the divine, of integration with your own higher self, through your conscious efforts, there is a gradual progress that is made. The engines of peace begin to move forthrightly within every nation. And there is an overcoming of what seems to be those great obstacles that you face within the world, as the forces of darkness, their strategies and plots, their plans and schemes to prevent you and all mankind from this self-realization, this liberating energy of the 7th era, and of your ultimate destiny of oneness with God within your soul. Yes, dearest ones, the utilization of this one dynamic of the light of freedom as the alchemical formula within the violet light, the violet laser light, the violet flame, and all of its transmutative and joyous properties magnetizes more of heaven into earth, alchemically produces the solution to every predicament. And when you accentuate through the utilization of this gift of the sacred fire, from Lord Zachiel, from Arcturus and Victoria, from Holy Amethyst, Portia and I, and other great masters of light, who have so utilized it for centuries and millennia, there is brought to bear within the earth that divine magic, that holy magic of light that provides, through the nexus of your hearts, that solution, that opportunity for self-realization and advancement. We have shared this teaching with you many times, and at times we have asked you to ramp up the use of the violet light in your prayer sessions in order to so qualify that light of the Word with these essences, with this energy field. And you have done so, and you have seen the cosmic results in the earth, often, though many of these results are not always born to bear within the physical realm. Often the energies are utilized in the astral plane, coalescing light to transmute the polluted and toxic elements there, the sewers therein of emotional turbulence and of violence and the perversities of life. We would not draw these to your attention too much, dearest ones, for even focus upon them draws them somewhat into your world. And yet we say that the violet light is that one cosmic, momentous energy that, when invoked, works miracles, both on the inner and the outer, within you and without you, within the earth and without the earth, in the lives of initiates and in the lives of the common man or woman. Therefore, when you energize everything with this sacred fire field of cosmic joy, it is as if you are cleansing, purifying, transmuting, transforming, and engendering something new, powerful, and dynamic in your world by the cosmic activity that enters into the equation, because we are there when you invoke that violet light with cosmic discernment and Christic discrimination. Yes, dearest ones, there is an interplay betwixt heaven and earth and the use of this gift of the sacred fire, whereby the alchemical formulas of higher consciousness that we are aware of can be downloaded into the earth through the nexus of your hearts, your minds, and your spirits, through the sacred words that you invoke, the mantras that you give, the songs that you sing. Those of you who are sensitive know the energy of the violet light and what it means for the liberation of mankind. And yet many have never heard of this dispensation, this grace, this gift that I have borne to the earth with beloved Portia, that we offer mankind again and again through various activities, including the sacred Saint Germain Foundation, the I Am Movement, and others. Blessed ones, when thousands can come together and invoke this energy in consonance, in harmony, in oneness, you will see cosmic results in the earth tangibly, with the overcoming of disease, death, and destruction, with the annihilation of forces and force fields deep within the astral plane that at times the dark ones attempt to have surface and boil over and interrupt the flow of light and of life upon earth, and all manner of degradations and destructive activities. You see, dearest ones, even Jesus himself utilizes the violet light, from the etheric octaves, from the Ascended Master realms, in his healing work on behalf of mankind. And he sends cosmic rays through the mind of the Christ into this and that activity, into this and that situation, in answer to the prayers of Christians worldwide, to offset the dynamics of darkness, to transmute the veritable engines of war and the dialectics of evil. As you utilize the fiery flames of the violet light consciously throughout your day, there is a cosmic energy field born upon earth through your awareness that liberates atoms, cells, and electrons within you and within whatever you focus your attention upon. There is true liberation through spiritual fire. There is dynamic integration by the energetic light of the Buddha, the mind of Christ, the mind of God manifest in every situation. You do not always humanly have to know the solutions, dearest ones, that are best and optimal within every situation. When you invoke that violet light, the divine solution occurs through the intelligence of the mind of God, because the violet light itself is intelligent, knows whereof it originates from and where it is leading to in terms of the solution brought forth that is dynamic, powerful, and miraculous. Why, I would say that the seventh ray is the miracle ray of God, for in each and every situation, miracles of light ensue. The glory of God is present, angelic intercession happens, and when this dynamic is manifest, the rainbow rays of God and all of their glory also come into manifestation, because the seventh ray invokes them all, you see, dearest hearts. You may invoke the rainbow light of your presence and your causal body, and yet when you give those calls, prayers, and invocations and songs to the violet light, it is as if the entire rainbow then is present, as an umbrella of light and radiance over you, shining upon you and within every aspect of your worlds. This is the glory of God. This is the energy of spirit. This is the dynamic of God power, God wisdom, and God love in perfect balance in all of its engenderings and manifestations through the seven rays of God. Now, dearest ones, beloved Portia comes forth this day, standing wherever any injustice manifests, from the dialectic of materialism and duality. For even though there is no injustice in the universe from one perspective, yet in the human domain there are injustices that occur when people without righteousness foist their issues, their perspectives, their dynamics upon others, without the free will of the cosmic interchange between peoples manifesting as equality, as understanding, as true communication. Therefore, when you see from the human perspective a seeming injustice, invoke Portia there, invoke the light of the fiery aspect of the violet flame. And within that situation, and within the very nexus of its core unreality, she will deliver her ray of divine justice, and there will be the dissolution of violence and the energies of darkness. There will be the righting of wrongs, the harmonization of all that is inharmonious, the bringing to bear of the scales of justice into play, so that in harmony, ignominy, and all that is not true, not just, not holy, will be consumed, cause, effect, record, and memory. If you will engage in this one activity, when you see an injustice, invoke my beloved and her ray into that equation. You will see miracles manifest. Not always overnight, and yet truly, dearest ones, I assure you, they will occur, according to God's holy timetable, and from heaven's perspective and the right time and place, with perfect accuracy, according to cosmic law. For you see, where Portia is invoked, the full weight even of the karmic board comes into play. Karma is adjudicated, Dharma is fulfilled, and there is the greatest opportunity for a new dynamic of harmony, peace, and divine progress to occur within this equation. Many of you call to me, and yet you forget my beloved, and yet she has been the cosmic being within the higher octaves of light, the hell, the balance for me during my incarnations in time and space, dearest ones. So why not try her out? Yes, I say, try her out this day, every day. Call to Portia to even the scales of justice, to liberate the true realities of the divine world into the affairs of mankind. Where you have seen criminal activity, call forth justice for the binding of evil, for the binding and the negation of its effects in time and space. Where you see candidates running for office that you know have no good about them or within them, only the desire for power, money, and through greed to take from the peoples of their nations, instead of to give of service and true, authentic love. Call forth justice, to bind that activity, to expose it through all media, and allow God's will, wisdom, and love to manifest for the highest candidates, for the highest outcome to ensue. You see, when you give anything to God, God gives back greater and greater and magnanimous gifts unto you, for you have surrendered all to God's will, and therefore God's will naturally is then allowed to manifest in your world. It is simply an equation of givingness and receiving, dearest ones. You give your all to God, God gives his, her all to you. And when you surrender every last vestige of your human selfhood, this allows every divine vestige of your godhood to then descend into your world and play out in all of its glory and cosmic manifestations. Justice, 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 I say. Justice, justice, justice today. Justice, 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 I pray. Come to earth, here and now, O Portia, in answer to this prayer. Even a short, simple, focused ray of your intent in a call such as this brings a dynamic that is absolutely phenomenal into play in your world. Or the reason why at times you shout your fiats and calls is because you desire that God hears right then and there. And so you must raise your voice, as the great orators of the past have had to, in order to get across to the dense minds of some the truth, the way, and the life of the new way of liberation, harmony, and peace. Now, blessed ones, through this call that I have made, Portia has descended into New Hampshire, into the capitals of every state of this nation, into the capitals of all nations, and she is weighing the scales of justice and the lives of those, both good and bad, from the human perspective, in order to bring about, through the violet light, an action of cosmic justice for the liberation of souls, for a new wave of cosmic activity to progress and to be realized by initiates and light bearers upon earth. And as you support her through calls to justice here, there, and everywhere, this activity will continue and grow and multiply. And the injustices that you have seen around the earth will diminish and eventually disappear. Yet it will require constancy, attentiveness, deliberation, and authentic love to make this action complete and to proceed uninterruptedly day by day, 24/7, so that every injustice will be dissolved and consumed, and only God justice will then manifest in every situation. Many of you as children, when you saw things that even at that tender age were unfathomable to your soul, cringed at what man's inhumanity to man could engage in and result in. And you sought a means of expression, of givingness, to counteract the evils that you saw. This is why many of you entered the path of light, to save the situation, to save sentient beings, to save yourself within the greater context of this planetary dynamic. Well, you have the gift of the violet light, and when you utilize it, dearest hearts, I say that you have the solution. You have the answer to that inner prayer of your heart when you saw these dynamics, when you saw the unleashing of violence, hatred, and all manner of darkness within the world, and wars and violence, even utilizing the higher technologies created in the West, which were meant for the liberation of mankind from drudgery, strain, and stress in the physical, to provide greater opportunity for self-advancement on their spiritual path. We say that one of the greatest injustices that we observe from our octaves is the utilization of higher technology for war and for the incarceration of the souls of mankind, as well as their physical bodies, in a matrix of death and hell, of destruction and inharmony. Therefore, I beseech the lords of karma in this hour to only allow the higher technologies, especially within the communication world, within the world of the media, and in the military, to be utilized for God good, and that anyone and everyone, nation by nation, corporation by corporation, individual by individual, whose motive, whose means is to utilize technology for darkness, will be stripped of their opportunity to do so by the laws of cosmic justice. That harmony will ensue, that the law of cause and effect will be accentuated and fulfilled in the immediacy of the moment, so that peace, progress, and love, brother-sisterhood, will emerge. The lords of karma have heard my prayer, my request. They have stood even in this hour and given the word, yea, Saint Germain, we have heard you. What this will result in, blessed ones, is that there will be in certain situations temporary confusion in certain areas, temporary manifestations whereby those at the cause and core of these issues will be held in courts of jurisprudence on the inner to have adjudicated what they have or will attempt to outpicture of darkness. And in many situations, this will result in the dissolution of certain organizations, the passing from the screen of life by the law of cause and effect of certain life streams, and the exposure of the truth to more of humanity. You see, everything will not always be hunky-dory, easy-going during these times of trouble, during this transition from one age to another. Yet I can assure you that if you are staunch and stalwart in your determination to hold the field of cosmic activity through the gift of the violet light and through your invocation of the sacred fire, your deeper and deeper meditations upon your presence, holding that concentration and focus upon your God, as you allow your higher self to enrich the earth through the cosmic rays that descend into the nexus of your heart within that time of silence and communion with God, that you will hold that balance for this transition to occur with the least amount of inharmony, violence, and planetary cataclysm. And by doing this, dearest ones, earning your stripes, you will receive our approbation, and you will also move into the liberative field of cosmic beingness within your God presence and your higher Buddhic anatmic self. Precious ones, this message is important to be heard by the souls of all mankind, and therefore, due to the cosmic activity that has ensued during this 24/7 broadcast, it is so. The Lords of Karma are allowing my message to be deeply etched upon and within the souls of all mankind. Though they may not have heard it on the outer, yet they are hearing it deeply on the inner. Why, even David has not shared with you yet his experience just 4 nights ago of being with the soul of Hillary Clinton on the inner, speaking directly unto her in a loving and yet chastening way. And he saw the soul of that one crying out in anguish for what she has done, both in past lifetimes and in this one, in terms that you would hide your face from God if you saw it, dearest hearts. She was crying out for mercy, for grace, and yet the law of cosmic justice was there, being adjudicated even during this communique between our messenger and between one who could, if the powers that be have their way, see her through to her election as your next president. Now, we are not condoning one or another, dearest hearts. We are simply sharing with you what at times goes on the inner planes of being, through your calls, through the power of the word that you invoke. The effects of your words are carried forth on wings of light to every soul, and at times they reach even the very sensitive aspects of the inner person, who may be at the forefront of consciousness of many peoples throughout the world. Did you know that even Mahatma Gandhi wrote a letter to Adolf Hitler, inscribing, as he penned it and ended it, "Your friend, Mahatma Gandhi"? How could he see himself as the friend of Hitler, with all that would ensue? You see, he was the friend of the soul of that one. So I say that even our messenger, and even you, are the friend, the beloved, of the higher self, the soul of those whom you may consider enemies. Therefore have no enemies. Love all with the selfless love of the Arhat. Send only the finest streams of divine kindness, presence, and understanding to every life stream. For as Melchizedek has warned you, when you have even an iota of rancor or judgment in your voice, in your intent, in your words, there is the discoloration of the vibration that you emanate with that red light of that anger, and in harmony. Be at peace within yourself, and you will engender peace throughout the world. Speak loving words to anyone and everyone with whom you disagree, from the temporary aspect of your own human consciousness. And in that sense and space of perfect peace, you will engender a higher outcome, a dissolution of dissonance, argumentation, and in harmony, and there will ensue the perfect solution by that communication of love and reverence with each and every soul. Yes, blessed ones, there is a solution. God is the solution. You, your higher self, is the solution. The violet light is the means for that solution to manifest by God's grace within your world, because of the frequency of freedom within it, to liberate everything unto its highest essence, perfectionment, and divine glory. Long ago, before my incarnation as Francis Bacon, as I have told you once, I saw my destiny, and that in a future lifetime I would be given this gift as an ascended being, having fulfilled my destiny of offering this solution to mankind. And I was in awe of the possibilities that would manifest, though not seeing every manifestation of its buoyancy, joy, and alchemy fully realized in mater. Yet I was swooning in the divine bliss and holy ecstasy of knowing that God would provide a means, a way out from human suffering, liberating mankind from the after effects of karmic activity, of all manner of injustice and inhumanity between men, women, and children upon earth. Yes, I saw it, I felt it, and I knew in that moment that God answered my deeper soul prayer. And even now, dearest ones, He is answering it through you and what you do daily to invoke the light, to see it to its realization in your life, in your world, in your Dharma. Keep on keeping on, invoking the light, and the engines of peace will manifest and be oiled by the love of your hearts in this dynamic. Lest I wear out my welcome, I will bring my talk unto you to its conclusion now, and simply say, as I have said many times, that love is the key to the energy of the violet light and all of its graces manifesting and working its alchemy through you. Love is the key. When you have love, even if you cannot visualize perfectly, when you have love, even though your mental mind at times is erratic and cannot completely focus on one situation, that love is the dynamic and the means and the vehicle for the violet flame to do its perfect work of self-transformation and the actualization of higher consciousness. Therefore, be loving and the expression and the givingness of the violet light. And it will work for you, I say, even though you will not always see its immediate effects in your life. Love is the key to perfect alchemy. Remind yourself of this, dearest hearts. Love is the key to higher alchemy. Love is the key to advanced alchemy. However you say it, it is true. Remind yourself to be loving. Choose to be love in every situation. And that love will make the difference. That love will provide the keys to any soul, to the teachings that you present, the example that you share, the life that you lead. Now I raise my hands in blessing unto all of you and project an accelerated action of the violet current and stream of light into your souls for greater soulfulness to manifest, greater enlightenment to ensue, greater harmony to be known, greater peace to flow within and through your lives. Remember my simple exercise to rub your hands and see the violet light in a sphere, a living sphere of energy, and to utilize that energy in any situation for healing, for alchemy, for grace to manifest. Your belief, your faith, your acceptance is the key to its manifestation. And it is so by God's grace through you. Later in this 2-hour session, another master will come after you invoke the violet light for a full 33 minutes, prayers and songs. And we will see what we will see in terms of dispensations and other graces that will come your way, dearest hearts, through this manifestation of holiness and God glory. I am your Saint Germain. I love you, even as Portia loves you, and this day abides with you. Live in that grace and live eternally. I thank you.